Welcome to Sketching Up, another episode of Sketching Up. I'm Chris, that is Matt, and today we are going to talk about regular show, The Lost Tapes, episode 1. I know that there are a couple episodes out right now as you're watching this, but we're only going to talk about episode 1, and then we can talk more about the rest of it later on. We're going to talk about the reboot of regular show coming back out. We're also going to talk a little bit about Lego Batman, because I know you really want to talk about Lego Batman, and we'll let Matt do a little bit on on Punisher as well. I almost said Daredevil, but Punisher as well. Make sure you follow us at Sketching Up Podcast on Instagram and TikTok. You can also subscribe to this podcast on YouTube. You can subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts as well. Go do that. 5 stars, comment, all that stuff. Find us on social, whatever. I didn't see the Punisher movie, which you said is basically just an episode because it was like 40 minutes. But obviously, I saw the CGI fall thing.
Oh, I mean, that came out, and you can see it. It's like I understand, which hands down, it's fun. It's like what Punisher should be. You know, it's like a kind of a one-shot comic where it's just like one story and it's really Punisher-esque. Like it's just gore. It's just people getting killed left and right. And it's Frank Castle going absolutely insane. Like not in the sense of killing insane, but like he's losing his mind a little more and more and more. And like this is like him like kind of trying to figure out if he could just be a normal dude and like not worry about what's going on around him. And the world he lives in pushes him back into that Punisher lifestyle. And he just was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to be the Punisher and I'm going to just fucking kill people. And like his new look at the end of it is what he looks like in the new Spider-Man movie, which I like. I wasn't a huge, like, I like the Punisher, but I'm not a huge fan of like when he wears the huge like trench coat, the black trench coat. Like I like when he's more in that tactical gear, and that's what he looks like in this. And it just looks a little more badass to me. And that's in my own opinion.
Yeah. Well,
but
the tactical or the trench coat like was, I believe, in the comics at some point, but it really got big because Dolph Lundgren wore the trench coat with the skull and everything. And then that's just been the on-screen look forever since then.
Yeah, for sure. And no qualms about it. It's not like I absolutely hate it. I just like the tactical look a lot better. The like you said, it was a show because majority of shows out there now are like 40 to 45 minutes long anyway. So I wouldn't have called it a movie. I would have just called it like a special episode. I read a little more about it, and it's supposed to be happening while what's happening in Daredevil Born Again Season 2, which I thought it was supposed to be between Daredevil Season 2 and Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's what they said, that this was going to be the in-between.
Yeah, but then I read something that they said, no, this is actually happening during Season 2, which I like. Either way, I don't care because like it's one of those things where you notice like the inaccuracies of the MCU right now, which what they're trying to do, especially with these street level heroes, because like you're making a big deal about Daredevil, you're making a big deal about Spider-Man, and now you're making a big deal about Punisher. But right now, like the scene that you're set in Punisher, he's in Little Sicily, and he murdered all like the big crime family. He killed them all. And it's like them coming back for revenge. And like, it's really lawless in this area of New York City. And it's like, okay, if this is going on during Daredevil, I know Daredevil has a lot on his plate with Kingpin, but like, I think he would have heard about this. And then also Spider-Man
may have
like
come up.
Yeah. Spider-Man's like in college and we don't really know what he's doing. He's just like being the friendly
street level at this point. Like,
yeah, like, and he's just being the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man that we like all really love. He's not fighting Thanos and shit and going to the multiverse. He's just in college, like being a college kid. And it's like, what are we doing here? There's like the whole like the background of what's going on in this area of the city looks like war-torn Beirut. Okay. Like burning cop cars, people just getting beat up on the street, like regular citizens just getting shit kicked out of them by like these little gangs that are everywhere. And you're like, no one in this city is doing anything about it. We have multiple superheroes in here. Like, what are we doing? But then it's cool just to watch Punisher just be Punisher and just go all out. Like the fighting scenes, 10 out of 10. The way the camera angles are getting these fighting scenes, 10 out of 10. Yes, there is that CGI kind of weird thing where he lands on what I think is like the air conditioning unit is
Yeah.
pretty bad.
But
But
they did say that the only thing that was CGI'd was his face. That's what
yeah,
they
but
said. But it does
yeah,
not.
but
It
it
looks
looks
like it's
so
out of
weird when
GTA.
it looks so weird when he hits the actual piece and like it kind of like explodes a little bit under him. And you're
Yeah.
like, I feel like it wouldn't have had that much effect if he fell on it and it would just kind of dent it pretty badly.
Yeah.
So like it was just a little exaggerated. So then you're like, okay, yeah, that was definitely CGI.
Yeah. That's what I
um,
said too. It looks CGI, but they said it's not CGI, which I don't know if they're just lying or what, but
I don't know, but all in all, I would say go see it. Definitely watch it. It's a lot of fun. It's like adrenaline to the max through the whole thing. You don't get a break, and it sets up Punisher to look really cool in the new Spider-Man movie, which I'm excited to see him in that.
yep. And
And
we already know he's there.
yeah, and we already know he's there, so it's good. But I do switch into DC. I do want to talk about the new Lego Batman
Go ahead.
because we haven't talked about it at all. And there has been multiple, like the first Lego Batman was amazing and a lot of fun to play, but this one's just going through the whole catalog of movies and games that have been put out earlier, and it's just in this game. You have a million suits you can pick from. You go through, the 19 the 1989 Batman with Michael Keaton. You go through the Dark Knight trilogy. You go through the Batman animated series. You go through. There is a little hinting at Batman Beyond. There's a little hinting about all these other Batman properties that are all bringing together into this open world Lego game too. Like it's like the Arkham games where you can just fly around and do missions and stuff like that on top of like probably the storyline that they have for it. And it just looks so much fun. And I haven't bought a video game in a very long time. I think this is the one that's gonna
This is the one that's
make
going
me
to bring
buy
you
it.
back. This
Yeah,
is the
it's
one
gonna
that's
bring
going
me
to bring
back
you back.
into the fold of video gaming. So I'm excited about that. And then they leaked Rocksteady after their failure at the Squad game set out like a press release saying that they're going back into Batman, going back into the Arkham games, and they're also doing So it got leaked that they may be doing Batman Beyond in the Arkham universe, which would be a lot of fun and would make sense for the ending to Arkham Knight. Batman kind of leaves and is gone, and this would be an awesome way to do a time jump, see what Gotham's like, and to do it in a futuristic Gotham, a neo Gotham, how they called it in Batman Beyond, and see an older Batman and a Terry McGinnis. That would be a lot of fun. I would That again would bring me back into the gaming fold, and I would start playing games again and
You hear
ignore
that?
all
If you
my other
want in the game
responsibilities.
again, you now
Yeah,
know how to get him there. You now
I
know how
get
to
it.
get him
I
there.
get it. I get it. You did it to me. I'm
Other
just
things being revived, regular show, which is
yeah.
weird because I thought this was going to be a weekly thing, but they're releasing it like every day for a week, which
Oh, so that's what
surprised
they're
me.
doing?
Yeah.
Hmm,
So I think it said
interesting.
it's 10 episodes, or I don't have it written down in front of me, but
I can get it.
every single day was a different episode for like whatever amount of episodes there were. And the
Yeah.
first episode came out on Monday. The transition from the last they played like the last episode before it, and the
Hmm.
transition from the last episode, which for anybody that hasn't seen it, well, don't know why you're listening to this. Pops is gone, and he ends up in heaven, and he puts a tape in to watch the show, which is regular show, like the life that is there. They literally transition that into no ads or anything, go right into the next one, which opens with him in the tapes. So like it was a really cool transition, or him in heaven, I think it was to start. That was a really cool transition into that, because like it was just like a really nice callback from the last episode, and now it shows that it's a continuation in a way, because the show is supposed to be them at the park. So it's, for anybody that didn't watch the episode, all the tapes that Pops is watching are his memories.
Yes.
So he has this memory tape that breaks. Then he needs to go get it fixed. Can't get it fixed. He ends up going to wherever they store all the memories. He finds a box of memories, and they're all ones he's never seen before. Hence the lost tapes.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming each episode is going to be one of those from the lost tapes. So it's going to be very regular show-esque, because it's going to be very weird and all over the place and no actual storyline throughout.
Exactly.
And we should get about the same type of stuff we got. And I will say the regular show craziness was definitely on full display for that.
Oh yeah. I mean, the hovercraft is hilarious. Like getting into a hovercraft and then the military thinking it was a UFO and shooting them down was great.
The one thing, my one big opinion was there was a lot going on in that single episode. There was
in that
way
single,
too much.
So much. I did watch it twice because I was like, did I miss something? Because there was just so much going on. You have pretty much like 4 different storylines going on in one episode.
Yeah. It was like almost like the first part of him retrieving the tapes was like its own episode.
Yeah.
And then like the start of the episode was its own episode. And then like the start of the tape was its own. Like they were all like you said, it's like 4 different things going on at once.
Yeah.
And there was just so much going on, a little too much going on for that first one.
Yeah. I think, it's, I guess they're trying, since it's coming out every day, they're going to try to get as much as they can in each episode. And it's surprising too, because it's like the episodes aren't that long. So it's like
22 minutes.
Yeah. So we're getting so much in such a short amount of time. And I feel like today we're not used to that because, like I said, like the Punisher, they call it a movie, but it was like a normal TV show. I watched the second to last episode of The Boys. That was like 40 something minutes. Like, and you have so much going on in that show, and you have all this time to kind of like ease into each storyline. This was just like, let's sprint. We're doing a sprint in this episode. We're sprinting through everything.
Yeah, and they really did. Like I said, the central plot of it, the thing was they had a new story while also trying to hit all the notes of the old one, which I thought they did a good job of for the most part. Like,
I think so. Yeah.
Shack, you see the outside of the house. All the characters are there. They're doing a luau, and of course they need to get their task done so they can go to the luau, and that's all they care about. Which is
I love the no wheels
plot.
rule. The no wheels rule. He's like, can I use my skateboard? And they're like, there's wheels on a skateboard.
And then he has the thing, the moving thing. He's like, what about this thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, everything that has wheels. And that's how we get to the hovercraft that they end up making, because they can't have wheels. So they figure out if they build a hovercraft, which you can get by having tops to pudding or something like that. Which also, like, it's funny because if they would have just brought in the 600 tops of pudding and gotten the hovercraft, I don't think it changes the storyline at all from them creating it by getting the booklet, because that did nothing.
Yeah.
No, it did nothing. It didn't add, like that person doesn't come back, or them building it doesn't do that. No, it was like it did nothing. It just them building it just padded another 5 minutes in there.
I love how the spokesperson guy was like, and you see before when they're getting all the pudding tops or whatever, and you see the advertisement, it's like, if you have this X amount, you can get a hovercraft, and then he hands them the blueprint. So he's like, as advertised, here's the blueprint to your to your hovercraft. And that brings me back to like anything that you would see like on like a cereal box or something, and they're advertising something, and normally if you ordered it, it would come in like 8 different pieces and you had to put it together. It didn't come all together.
Yeah, and it wasn't exactly what you were looking at or looking for or anything like that. And the advertising was like clearly misleading. Like, I can't remember exactly what it said, but it was clearly misleading.
It was super misleading, and I found that funny because like I feel like that show like in the regular show in the earlier seasons, it did a lot of stuff of bringing things that are ridiculous in our world that we just kind of put up with. Like that's just something we just put up with. Like things that are advertised when they're not advertised clearly enough, and like we just have to deal with it when like we get something or we buy something and it's just not really what it was advertised as.
Well, that was the best part of the show, was it was very much like low stakes things become world ending things. Like a game of pickup basketball becomes a game of gods versus each other, or you know what I mean? Like, and I think that's why a lot of people were disappointed with like that last season where they go into space, because it was a little too. It's actually my same opinion I have of the show Dexter.
Okay.
Where the first 4 seasons are unbelievable, with season 4 ending being like probably one of the best twists in a prestige TV maybe ever.
Mm-hmm.
But then from that point on, it almost becomes a little too mythical rather than based in reality. Like, it's like a cop being a murderer is like a little like not as believable. But when you really think about it, like at least it's realistic, right? At least it's like based in reality. Whereas when it goes on, like the newest thing they did, Resurrection or whatever I think it's called, where
they've had so many spinoffs of that show, or like continuations
only
of that
2.
show.
Only 2. Well,
I feel like
you're right.
more.
No, you're right. They had the Prelude one.
Yep.
That wasn't Michael C. Hall.
Mm-hmm.
But they had the one where he goes to like upstate New York, which was like okay. I don't remember what that, something blood or something like that. But then there's one, the new one is supposed to be like a continuation of the whole thing. Like this is supposed to be it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at first it's like based in reality a little bit, but not really, because did you see the new thing? Do you care if I spoil it?
No, go ahead. Right ahead.
Have you seen the original series?
I've only seen the first 2 seasons of the original series.
Well, I'm not going to spoil the season 4 twist, because I no, you should go watch it. It's like unbelievably, and you do not see it coming, and it hits you like crazy. Like it's
all right.
You have to experience that yourself.
All right.
But I will for the old, like the whatever season, whatever you call that, season 8 or 9 or the new spinoff, whatever, where they're in upstate New York. At the end of it, his son shoots him. Like kills him. But they come up with like, because it was so cold and his heart slowed down, he didn't die, blah, blah, blah. He was found, and he was not actually, he never died.
He was resurrected.
It's like, that's mythical in its own. Dude was shot in the chest. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, I don't care how cold it is. If it hit his heart, he was shot in the heart. Like, you're not surviving that. I don't care how cold it is.
Yeah, no one survives that. No one survives that. This isn't
so that happens, and but the plot of it is he ends up finding Harrison, who gets into trouble himself because he kills somebody, obviously.
Yeah.
So he ends up going to find him to help him out, and all this stuff happens along the way. But the big piece of it there is he finds this club of like all these murderers, and they all get together under this one person that's just infatuated with murder and all this stuff. And it's like, that's just it's too much. You've gone too far. You've gone too far to the side. Like we need to narrow out a little bit.
Yeah. And especially that's how I feel. Like that. Especially shows with that. It's
like I said in the beginning, like, is it super realistic that there's a murderer that's on the police force? Probably not, but at least like it makes sense. Like if he's a blood spatter analyst and he knows how a scene should look, and he knows how to clean up a scene, and he knows how to cover his own tracks, like that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
But then you start talking about how like I'm hanging out in this room, and this is this murderer that's really famous, and this is this murderer that's really famous. And then it's this person, this rich, it's supposed to be this rich, one of the richest guys in New York, that he brings them all in because he's infatuated with it all. And you're just getting too mythical at that point. Like this is no longer like based in reality.
There's no like con for serial killers. Like you don't bring them all together.
Exactly.
I feel like
it's just too much.
If you watch stuff like on serial killers and like of like, you know, the famous ones, they always have documentaries on them. If you watch some of them, you know, they're like recluse people. Like they
Yeah, for the
don't
most part, they do not want to be. I mean,
like that
there's
part.
exceptions, but for the most
Yeah,
part, they do not want to be seen.
but they're like that part of their life is secluded away. They don't want anybody to know that that's part of their life. Like they may be like extroverts outside of that life, like their everyday life, but that singular part of their life, the murdering and gruesome murdering, they're not advertising that. Like no billionaire in the world is going to be like, oh, I can get the numbers of all these serial killers and see if they come and talk to me about their killings. Like, that doesn't happen.
And that's where it lost me. I mean, in the later seasons, it loses me for the same reasons. Like, more people are finding out. The season 7 arc is like, I honestly could spoil anything from 5 on for anybody because I don't care if anybody watches it. I do like when they introduce Hannah McKay more than most do. I think she was like also a kill. So she like killed somebody as well, but she becomes like the main love interest. But like their connection, I like them coming together and stuff like that. But other than that, I mean, like there's one where he like saves a victim and then like he goes on a spree with her and starts taking out all the people that kidnapped her. And then there's another one that the season 7 church one is just, it has Edward James Olmos and Colin Hanks in it, which is, two good actors. Very good. The twist is okay at the end. It ends up like, so it's those two and Colin Hanks is always listening to Edward James Olmos, like who's his mentor, teacher, or something like that. But you then find out that he's just crazy and he actually murdered him and put him in a freezer. And that Edward James Olmos has just been in his mind, like imagination the whole time.
Okay, cool.
Which is solid. But that's also the same season where Deb, his sister, is like talking to a therapist because she thinks she's in love with him. Her brother, by the way, also in real life, ex-husband. Like, it's so weird. Like, it's just like, so like, why would they write that in there? From the beginning, it's not great. But then, like, are they going to have this chemistry like that? Because, like, first of all, ew. Second of all, they're literally like were married in real life and then split. So, like, why are we trying to write these two together in the show? The whole
I don't
season
think
7
any
was trash.
show,
or maybe 6,
except for like Law and Order SVU, can really write like ancestral like.
Yeah, no show should
like,
write that.
No one should really put that in there because no one's fishing for that. Like
no
when
one's
we're
looking
turning
for
on
that.
Dexter, I'm not looking to see, oh, his sister is definitely going to bang him, and I can't wait for that to happen. Like no one's waiting for that.
No, it's so weird. It's weird.
Like it's just that's
tried
just
to write
like
that as a plot, and then she finds out that who he is, and it just becomes even worse.
Oh, does that sour the relationship? Does that
turns her off? Believe it or not.
Yeah, that's just like a red flag for her. Like, oh, being my brother is okay, but being a murderous brother, that turns me off right away.
That's the last straw.
Yeah, that's a red flag for me. Got to move on.
Incest is only good when it's like they're law-abiding citizens.
Yeah, law-abiding citizens is okay.
I will say, technically speaking, Dexter was not a biological brother. If you remember from the beginning, he was found at a crime scene. So technically, they're not, but it's still they grew up together. It's just not a good plot to write in
and
there.
if I had a sister, I wouldn't. I would never.
You wouldn't be like
that.
Trying to get with her. They wouldn't.
Yeah, no. But if she
it wasn't
found out
playfully
I was a
like
murderer,
how it's not playfully like how young Manny in Modern Family does it either, right? Like it's playful, it's jokey. Like she was sitting with a therapist and go, I think I love Dexter. It's like that's strange. That's strange.
Not. Yeah,
it's just too bad.
It's funny with Manny because he's a child. He's a child.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know. But with Dexter and his sister, they're adults. They're consenting adults. Like, get out of here.
How do you feel that Modern Family handled the kids as they grew up? Did you like what they did or did you dislike what they did? I do have an opinion, but I want to hear yours first.
Okay. That's actually a really good question because I think that's one of the best shows that was on TV.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot too. We watch it all the time. It's Mary's sleep show. I enjoy the show a lot.
Yeah, it's our like comfort show just to put on.
Yeah.
How they raised the kids.
Not how they raised the kids, how they wrote the kids as adults.
How they wrote the kids. I would think like I liked Like obviously I liked Manny's story, like how they did Manny and how he grew up. I think it like it was a natural progression of his life, and I think
See that?
it went
I
in the
think
right
they wrote
direction.
as an adult. I think they wrote him terribly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think they like when he was young. The thing is with him and with why can't I think of the other son's name?
Oh my god,
Um,
I'm gonna blank on it
but
too because you brought
with
it up.
those two, they kind of like stereotyped them and kept them there. But Manny becomes like very like how do I want to say this without saying it
Oh,
wrong?
Luke, it's Luke.
Luke just becomes dumb. He's just
Yeah,
dumb. Like that's his only trait is he's
yeah,
not smart. And they don't even do that classic like he aced the test, but he's the dumb one
yeah,
trope.
yeah,
Like he's just dumb. And my favorite one is they write him to be really dumb as an adult, and then they have a scene where he's trying to get into college, and they're like, "Come on, UCLA." It's like you wrote him
yeah.
as dumb for years. What are you talking about,
Yeah.
UCLA?
No
Like,
way.
what are we talking about there? But Manny like kind of becomes a little he becomes very pretentious, but he also like
Yeah,
I just don't like how he's written in that way. Like he feels like everything's owed to him, and he becomes kind of mean in a way. Like for example, what's Sherry, which was his girlfriend,
yeah,
wasn't really like the girl he was dating when they broke up. It was more like a possession of his that was taken from him because like he's still mad and complaining months after it's over, right? Like
yeah,
they
yeah,
broke
yeah,
up for
yeah.
months. And then like was it right for Luke to get with her? Probably not. But at that point,
But that's a
it's
Luke
like
thing to do.
it's a Luke thing to do, but also like you guys have been broken up. Like
Yeah. Well, I
yeah,
just
so
see
like
it as like
I didn't like how those
Manny.
were in.
I just see it as Manny was always a dramatic character, even as a child, as they wrote him. Like he likes the drama, he likes Broadway, he likes all that stuff. And so that just amplified as he became more and more as an adult. Um, my one, like, I didn't really like how they wrote Lily, like how
Yeah,
she grew up.
that's a consensus take as well. A lot of people didn't
Yeah,
like
like
how
I
she
just
grew up.
like
She was
why is
very,
she this.
very one note.
Yeah, it's like she's barely in the later seasons, and like whenever she is, she's just like very grumpy, and it's just like why, why are you super grumpy? And then later in like Haley's life, I wish they were just like the whole thing with her and Dylan, like that was just getting old. Like, why
Yeah.
did she have to have a kid with Dylan? Like, it makes sense that she would have a kid when she wasn't ready to have a kid because that's
Yeah.
who she is.
That was well done. That part
But
was
with
well done.
yeah, but with Dylan, it was annoying because you had Andy. Andy was
Yeah.
like perfect for her, and it should just stuck with Andy. Like, I don't know
Yeah,
why they
I
wrote
was
that
confused
off.
why they went that direction as well, other than he just couldn't stay on the show.
Yeah, the
That
only
would be
thing
my
is
only guess.
yeah, is that Workaholics was like blowing up at that time.
I think at that time, was it not over yet?
No,
By
I
the
don't
end
think
of
so.
Modern Family, was that show not over? I thought it
Let me
was.
see. I'm gonna
I
see.
think they did run at the same time, but I think I feel like Workaholics ended like when I was in college almost, if not just after.
Yeah, it might have
But
just
Modern
ended, but
Family ended like 5-6
2009.
years ago. Workaholics
It's
ended in 2009.
no, it's
Modern
oh no,
Family
did
didn't
it
end in
start?
'09.
No, it
It
started in
started in '09.
2009.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It ended in like 19 or something like that.
And
Or
Workaholics
maybe
started
later.
in 2011.
But when did Workaholics end?
I'm trying to.
Because it didn't go
You
that
mean
long.
Modern
It only went a couple
Family?
seasons. Modern Family, I think, is like 19 or something like that.
2020.
2020. I
Yeah.
think I said 5 years ago. So 6 years ago. And then Workaholics is what, like 16, 17?
Let's see.
I'm close.
Let me see. Let me see.
I got to be close. I'm just talking for no dead air.
I'm
Just
just trying to
filling dead
see.
air. I know. I'm just saying. I keep saying I'm going to be close.
2017. The last
Yeah,
episode aired.
yeah. So he's not working on Workaholics at that point because that storyline is the last season, 2 seasons or something like that.
Yeah, but so what they were
But he
trying
did
to
Pitch
do.
Perfect.
Yeah, he was doing Pitch Perfect, and he was like in the middle of writing Workaholics. Like he wrote with the
No,
other
but I'm
two
saying
guys.
Workaholics was over by the time they got to that point. By the time
Yeah.
she was having a kid, Workaholics was over. He wasn't writing it anymore. It's done.
Yeah.
But he was doing many other. He was very big at that point, like because right as Workaholics was ending, he went to do Pitch Perfect and Pitch Perfect 2.
Yeah, and then he got his own spinoff for that too.
I have I don't know.
Yeah, like the Buster. They did a movie about Buster, his character.
So I could see that. Like, yeah, it makes sense that he was too busy to stick along. Because I agree. I think that probably was the better direction to go.
Yeah,
that's why I asked. Because I feel like you could go either way. But I just didn't think the kids were really written that well at the end.
Yeah, the only one that like really made sense to me was Alex.
That's what I was gonna say, except for Alex, because it just made sense. Like she had a good progression because of how they made her in the beginning. She was like uptight and smart, and you kind of build her into that role later on. And it made sense.
It was really only that. I do miss that show. Maybe I'll watch that tonight. But yeah, I think it with like a lot of these shows, I'm with like Modern Family. I'm glad they didn't do like a reboot. I'm glad they haven't done like a spinoff. Same. I'm glad they just kind of left it as is. And because like the last episode was really good. Like it made sense. It was a nice closing for everybody. And they were gone. And it was like in Modern Family fashion, you know, like the show really, the last episode emulated the whole show.
Not to go too far off. I'll wrap this up with a tight bow.
Yeah.
Regular show. Check it out. It was good. I give it a thumbs up. Like I think the first episode was good. Because I have another question for you that's not related to that. So
okay.
And we don't have much time, so I want to ask you this question though, because I thought about it the other day when we were was it yesterday when we were gonna record? So I wanted to. Did you watch Archer?
Yes.
Did that show just fall out of cultural completely?
Yes.
Like no one talks about it ever anymore. But it was like one of the top shows for what, 4 seasons until ISIS had to be taken out because it was called ISIS.
Yeah,
that show was like it was memed all the time. Like those actors were everywhere. Like it just kind of felt.
People were quoting it left and right
constantly. Phrasing is from there. Like
yep.
Like that. The reason I said that is because when we have peanut butter, we give the spoons to the dogs to lick up. And Mary gave a spoon to the dogs and left it on the ground. And my thought was, this is how we get ants. And it made, I was like, does anyone even talk about Archer anymore? Like, did it disappear?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
What happened? Yeah. I don't even remember how it ended.
I don't even remember how it ended either.
I don't know if I've seen the ending of it. I don't think I
saw the last season. I don't think I ever watched the last season.
I know there's one where it's like a dream. I think I saw that. I don't know. I tried to keep up with it when they moved away from ISIS and stuff like that. And I just don't remember. I remember nothing past, I think it's like season 4 when it's the Bob Burgers cold open.
Yeah.
That's the last season I remember. After that, I don't remember anything. But like, I do remember that was like a really big show that just like disappeared. No one talks about it. You don't see photos of it. You don't remember the show. You just see nothing about it. It's just gone.
Yeah, I feel like when it came out, it was like it was so much different from like The Simpsons, Family Guy, American Dad, where it's adult animation. They can say whatever they want. They could do ridiculous things, but this was a little more, I don't know, not as like sitcom-y. Like
it wasn't silly. It was straightforward. Yeah. There was no silliness to it, like in the traditional sense. Like, yeah, there was silliness to it, obviously, but there was no silliness in the traditional sense. Like, it was very
there was a lot of dry humor in it.
Yeah, when I was on radio back in college, we had Jon Benjamin at the peak of the show on the show, and he said you could not improvise. Everything had to be said exactly the way it was written. Like, you couldn't go off of anything. You couldn't be like, what if this line here? No. Exactly how it's written is how you're doing it. Exact dialect you're supposed to say is how you say it, because everything that was written was part of the joke. So you couldn't go like some shows you can go off the top of your head and be like, oh, well, what about this line? Or you may say something and it makes the final cut. Not with this one. Like, this was very much, this is it. You have to stick with this. So,
I know.
It just blows my mind that it's nowhere.
Yeah, that literally it's not talked about, or it's
not talked about,
like
not
brought
memed,
up. Yeah,
not brought up. There's not Instagram accounts being like, remember this show, or nothing. It's just gone.
Yeah, I don't even see like clips on TikTok
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I see clips of everything on TikTok. Literally, every show that ever exists. I see these movies that I have no clue what's going on. I was like, I didn't know it was a movie. This came out in 1997. Never heard of it. It's on TikTok constantly.
Yeah.
But Archer is nowhere to be found. It makes no sense. It was such a really big show. It was so culturally. It was. So, it won like Emmys. It won Emmys. The cast was insane.
The voice
Aisha
casting.
Taylor, H. John Benjamin,
Jessica Walter,
and I think she passed before the show ended.
Yeah, she did. Yeah,
I didn't see that either. I don't know how they dealt with that. Like I thought of a quote from it, and like I said, that was like one of the highest quoted shows. Won a couple of Emmys. Like won a ton of Annies, had a crazy voice. What was it? Aisha Taylor, what we say? Jessica Walter, H. John Benjamin, Chris Parnell, Judy Greer. Like it had a really good voice cast. That's the main cast.
I know. Bruce
and it's
Campbell,
just gone.
Fred Armisen was in it. Like, yeah.
That's all I had to say. I just wanted to see if you watched it and if you've like heard of anything.
Oh, I freaking love that show. Like
the show was so good. The first 4 seasons were excellent.
Like I was waiting for it to come on TV and was like,
yeah, I remember that
Archer's
too
on tonight. Yeah, Archer's on tonight. I gotta watch.
That's what
Archer.
I'm saying. I tried to keep up with it after like the first 4 seasons, but I just don't remember. I remember like there was one where they were like in the snow, but not the one with the German girl. That's from the first 4 seasons. Everything after season 4, I don't really remember. Like Christian Slater was in it at some point. I don't really remember it.
Was.
But I just remember him being in it, but I don't remember the season whatsoever. You know what I mean? Like I think his name was Slater. I think they like just named him Slater.
Yeah.
But yeah, nowhere to be found. So if you watched Archer, let us know because so did we.
Yeah,
maybe we should just do an Archer episode.
Maybe, yeah. I think we need to revive it. Let's revive it.
We could hit the
Archer. We're going to do.
I don't care about reviving it. Let's just revive the conversation.
Yeah,
let's just get the conversation about.
I'll get us a list of some of the most iconic episodes of Archer. We're going to watch them and then we're going to talk about them and just go through it.
I feel like off the top of my head, I can name I can't name the episodes, but there's the one where they get the new agent and he's actually just trying to steal the stuff from him and they're in Miami. He comes back later too. Like that one's an iconic episode.
The one when he has cancer, when he gets breast cancer.
That's what I was that when I said it's silly, like he has cancer, he's going on a rampage.
He's going on his rampage. Like that is one of my favorite episodes of all time.
It's so good. It's so good. There's a lot of really we can go all day on this. There's a lot.
I mean, the episodes that have a Barry in it are hilarious.
Those are always excellent. Those
are just it's always
they're competing spies.
Yeah, competing spies, and then he turns into an android.
Yeah, and then he works for Russia.
He works for Russia. Yeah,
no, it's just so good. I'm gonna have to go back and watch this. I wonder if it got buried because they were called ISIS.
Maybe
it might.
You can't really blame.
No, it was
them.
I'm sure it was an organization at the time, but things happened in between there.
Yeah,
Anyway, if you watched Archer, let us know. Maybe we'll do an episode on Archer. Hit that, whatever that demographic left is.
Yes,
we'll hit that demographic.
We'll find them. We'll find them now.
Yeah, we're gonna put it in the title and see who comes up.
See who comes up. Yeah, see who's like, ooh, Archer.
Oh, Archer! I haven't heard of that in years. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. We really appreciate it. Make sure you follow us at Sketching Up Podcast on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. You can also subscribe to us on YouTube. Just hit the subscribe button at the bottom. Why don't you give us a like and a comment while you're there? Follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcasting platform as well. Hit us a follow, hit us with 5 stars, hit us with a comment, all that good stuff. You can listen to old episodes as well. If you're in the Houston area, May 24th at 4:15 p.m., come out to Comic Palooza and see me do a panel at Comic Palooza about interviewing. I will be there. And then Saturday, I might also be there doing an interview, but I can't announce anything until it's all done. But I will be doing, let's put it this way. I'm doing an interview Saturday. It's just, will I be doing it from the floor or not? That's all it is.
That's all.
Or will I be doing it in a different studio? But you can keep up with that on Mad Props Pod social media on Instagram or Twitter to see more about that. But if you're in the area, Comic Palooza, May 24th, 4:15, I'll be doing a panel on the podcast stage. Coming out, say hi, and check out that panel as well. Any final thoughts? Go watch Archer.
Yeah, I'm just psyched to do an Archer episode. I want to do that.
Yeah.
I'm going to just start watching Archer.
That's coming up. 100%.
Yep.
All right. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you later.
Thank you.
Sketching Up. Later.
Peace.